Good evening. Tonight's video will walk through where I think the market could be heading soon. I'm going to start off by showing you how I lay out my waves, make my determinations, and then I'm going to walk you through where I think we are. I do believe we are in a primary wave 4, which is a corrective ABC wave, ultimately moving up. This wave began with the market bottom on 7 April, and we have completed the first two waves, which was wave A moving up and wave B moving down, marked here with the magenta lettering on my chart. We are currently in wave C, which has likely concluded its third wave and quite possibly its fourth wave for all the symbols I will walk through. So I'm going to start off with SPY. It follows the market. Our all-time high was back here with the market top back on February 19th. And since that point, we've been working our way down. So far, we have a nice wave 1 down, wave 2 up. What I've marked as a wave 3, and I believe we're in wave 4. That means wave 5 is to follow, and its bottom will be somewhere below wave 3's bottom, which was around 481. Now, when it comes to determining where our waves are, I try to find wave 3. Wave 3 seems to be like the North Star when you're lost looking at chart patterns. So in order to find this wave, I have built a algorithm at the bottom. And what it does is it determines when we've reached maximum movement over the last 85 bars. In this case, that's what this is set up to. I search anywhere between 50 and 95 bars generally. I'm using the 85 bar maximum movement. And how it works is it'll drop a magenta background when we are in a down wave, extreme maxima, and then it'll drop a light blue background for the green moving items here at the bottom when we are at a peak. Generally, they turn into reversals, short-term, long-term. It depends. I have applied my modified wave theory, and that is how I will use it to find out where we're at tonight. So the first thing I generally do is I'll start on a zoomed out chart. I found wave 1 because I started getting wave 3 signals. Basically, they'll start anytime you reverse course and you start to go into an extreme reversal pattern. And so that's generally what happens with wave 1. Sometimes you'll get another signal on wave 2. Depending how long wave 1 was trending down, wave 2 might actually be the first time in a while that you began to move up. Wave 3 is always followed by even more significant movement. So if wave 1 does paint the pink background down here at the bottom, wave 3 should most certainly paint the pink background. We'll also see wave 3 of 3 and threes of threes of threes as well. So we're going to zoom into an hourly chart just to kind of show that. So our start is back here at my green vertical line. And then as we're working our way down back in primary wave 1, we're starting to get these maximum points. Normally you'll see them at wave 1, so that's probably where we are here. You also get them at wave 3 whenever that occurs. And then depending on how the fifth wave works, so in this case, I think wave 1 ended probably around 25 February. You maybe went up to wave 2 here on 26 February and came back down again to wave 3. This might be wave 3's bottom here around 3 March, wave 4 wherever the next little peak up is. And then we're in wave 5 for the end, but we do get more wave 3 signals, which is indicated down here at the bottom. Normally when you have a break like this, you have wave 3, and then you have the end of your wave. So in this case, the first group of pink bars was probably inside of that fifth wave of wave 1. It was probably wave 3 of 3. And then wave 3 ended with this second grouping of magenta. Then once we entered into wave 2, which was an ABC pattern, wave A got its mark up because it was the first time we've moved up that drastically in a while. And then wave B was down here at the bottom somewhere, and then wave C would have ended where wave 2 is. I normally just hide my final pieces. So wave B may have been the second one as well, or this first one. It's not important at this time. Now, trying to figure out where wave 3 was, the first thing I'm looking for is not only wave 3, but wave 3 of 3. So normally this first pink item here, this is either going to be my wave 1 point or my wave 3. And it really varies. So the movement in the beginning, it was kind of slow, and then we definitely came down into a significant period, and we went up. This is probably more of wave 1 based on only having 1 bar. So basically it's the lowest point we've had. It was more significant of a drop than where we ended up back in wave 3 of 3 of wave 1. And then wave 1 would be here of wave 3, and then wave 2 goes up to 2 April, and then wave 3 of 3. So once again, we have this gap in the magenta at the bottom. So wave 3 of 3 is your first part. And you probably came almost down to the bottom. And then once we had that gap, that's probably wave 4. So wave 3 probably ended here around 4 April on that Friday. Wave 4 was a quick jump up before wave 5, then once again takes us down into the end of wave 3. After that, we then entered our wave 4, and I marked my wave A, even though it's a little bit, it's not the highest top in that period. It also comes with some of the signals that we saw. And in the beginning, I only had a 3-wave pattern for wave A, so it made more sense that this first peak was wave 3 inside of A, and it also got a signal, and then we also got a signal at the end of A. If had this been a wave 1, you would see the same thing. Your wave 3 would get a signal, and then you'd garner another signal around wave 1. We then go into wave B, and then back up into wave C, which is a 5-wave structure. Currently, I have plotted my waves based on my signal, or my wave 3 signals again. So we had our first increased movement, one of these two spots here, either on 22 April at 10:30 or a little bit later at the open on 23 April. Wave 2 down was the one that was the drop that followed it. When I mapped it out, I probably used a 30-minute chart to find more information. Yeah, so my wave 1 was probably here. This is 1 of 3. Follow myself up into, this is probably 3 of 3, and then wave 3 finally tops. It's unclear right now. I'm marking today's low point as wave 4. We'll continue to monitor this to figure out if that's where we are over the next day or so. Now, once I have a general idea of where I think we are, the next thing I'm trying to do is figure out, okay, where does wave 4 end? Now, wave 4 coincides with wave C, which came from this magenta ABC set, and it also coincides with this minor wave 4, which is these yellow figures. So I'm going to use a couple tools to figure those out. Now I tend to use extensions and retracements. The first thing I'll do is I'll try to figure out what wave 3 did. So I'll find where wave 3 began. I'll kind of mark that with a line, and then I'll come to where wave 3 ended. So how to read this, these levels, 0%, that is where wave 3 began, and 100% is where wave 3 ended. So 100% of wave 3's movement was down here to 481. Basically, what happens next in wave 4 is you'll retrace some of wave 3's movement. Normally, you'll end at one of these lines. Quite a few of these are Fibonacci levels, and then some of the other levels I've added here because they are also common retracement and reversal points. So they are a little inverted too. So normally when you use this to figure out a retracement, instead of a 61.8% being down here at the lower half of it, this is actually only a 38% retracement. Because I try to do my work once, I know that these levels should be inverted. So basically where it says 14%, that's really this 85% retracement. The 23% is the 76% retracement. And the greens are also backwards at 38 and 61. I keep these because I'm going to use this. I need these levels for later on. So that's why I do the work once and then know that they are inverted. Okay, so I've laid out where wave 4 could go based on wave 3's movement. Now the next thing I'm going to do, similar type of chart, I'm going to figure out where wave C could end based on wave A's movement. I try to put my bars to the far side. So 0%, so wave A inside of 4 began back here when wave 3 ended. So that is our 0% level. And then wave A, like I said, I put the top here around 544. That would be 100% of what A did. So once you have A's movement, then you're looking to figure out, okay, wave C should move beyond 100% of wave A's move. So I lay out these levels, and these levels, what I'm going to do here in a second is try to figure out where they intersect with some of the levels that we used before, and on additional levels that I can use here again. So basically, the first one here is our retracement. Next is extension of wave A and trying to find wave C's end. And now I'm going to do the same thing with wave 5. So minor wave 5, basically what the yellow would be. I go in and I find, okay, wave 3 began here, wave 3 ended up here. And that has given me one more set of levels to look at. So I'll try to use all these levels and see where they intersect. So my first potential intersection that is beyond wave 3's top is right here around 553. He coincides with this 114% from wave A's extension, which is also pretty close to the 23% retracement, which is, like I said earlier, this is actually 76% retracement of what the larger wave 3 did, this blue primary wave 3 down here at the bottom. On top of that level, I would move to the next set. So here's also some shared lines. 114% of what minor wave 3 did, the yellow set, was at 558, and there's another line at 559, and we go back to 561. So we start bouncing around. Now, some of the rules for what wave 4 cannot do. I use a modified wave theory. I don't completely follow Elliott wave theory because some of the rules or things are violated too often. But otherwise, patterns are still available. It depends on whoever your analysts are. Everyone kind of has their different methods, and they use the guidelines as they have found to be accurate for themselves based on whatever it is they're doing. But wave 4 cannot end above where wave 3 began. Wave 3 began where wave 2 ended. So basically, wave 4 cannot be above this level. It cannot be above 576. So that's kind of our if we go above that, we are most likely in the wrong wave set. And that is also a possibility here. Right now, I am assuming we are in a 5-wave pattern down, and we've only completed 3 of those waves. The other possibility is the 3 waves that we've completed so far, instead of them being a wave 1 with the bottom on 13 March, wave 2 with the top around 25 March, and then April 7th being wave 3, that could actually just be an A, B, C. We have completed our corrective wave, and we are now heading upward and onward for quite some time. I don't believe that is the case, and as time will tell, I'll find out if I'm right or not. I've been wrong plenty of times in the past, so I just try to keep learning my lessons and applying and learning from my mistakes as much as I can. All right, so as far as where these all align right now, just based on not really going into do any more analysis, I would probably guess the market could probably top here around 558 to 561, this 559 area. That's probably pretty safe at this time. Also, another thing to consider is wave 3, another common rule that Elliott wave theorists use, and I also adopt in most of my modified wave theory, is the length of wave 3. Now, wave 3 is one of the 3 impulsive waves. Wave 1 is an impulsive wave moving down, and wave 3 and then wave 5. Of those 3 waves, wave 3 should not be the shortest in duration. So to check how long these waves were, I will measure wave 1 was roughly 207 half hours, and wave 3 was only, I'm not getting a precise measurement here, but around 114 bars. So what this tells us is right now wave 3 is the shortest wave. Now, in order for our guideline of wave 3 not being the shortest, wave 5 will then have to be shorter than 114 bars. So if we say wave 4 ends, wave 4 is probably going to end sometime in the next 1 to 2 days. So we'll call him around here early on Wednesday is my current target. I'll then measure what's 114 bars off of that, so we can see it. So if I start 114 bars, the maximum length of wave 5 has to end by looks like early next Tuesday. So basically, we're looking at a significant drop before next Tuesday, May 13th. When wave 3 is your shortest wave so far, this helps you in determining what wave 5 can do. Now, this is not always true. Most of the time, wave 3 will be longer than wave 1, and it's kind of hard to determine what wave 5 can do because you don't have that nice little rule helping you out. As far as trying to figure out what wave 5 is going to do, I go back to my extension. So before I use this retracements, this far right column, this is basically wave 3's movement. So if you remember, wave 3 began at 576 and it dropped down to 481. What I'm looking at next is it to possibly stop at one of these levels. Start to get into, hey, these are going to be significant drops, especially now that we are time bound by 114 half hours. We're looking at a significant drop depending where we bottom out. Now, wave 5 should, in almost all cases, go beyond what wave 3 did. So at the very least, in 114 half hours, wave 5 needs to drop below wave 3's endpoint, which was around 481. So if we do indeed top out around 559, a drop 559 to 481 in a short time frame, that's going to be significant. Normally, there's a significant catalyst with all the geopolitical, tariff, wars, everything going on. A catalyst is not hard to come by right now. So we'll have to see what actually causes this to occur. But then we're trying to figure out where we're going to go. I doubt we're going to go too much farther than wave three's bottom. But some of the levels to keep in mind is the 114%, 123%, 138. I'm not really sure where I'm placing this one right now, so I think I placed it at 123. I'll get into it later when I